Hi everyone. We're just starting in a moment. There are some seats up. There are some seats in the front if people want to come and sit. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for gathering today to celebrate the extraordinary life. Move this down. Okay. This is the extraordinary life of our beloved Mark Gilbert Neary, our cherished Gil. I'm Matthew Bank. If you don't know me, I am now the president of Bank Neary Real Estate, and I've had the honor of being Gil's friend for 35 years, almost 36, a coworker for 15, business partner of his for 8, a Fire Island housemate for 7, and for a few memorable months, an inconvenient house guest in his apartment in Chelsea Gardens. It was supposed to be a week or 2, and I think I was there for 3 months. But it actually was a lot of fun, and we enjoyed it, even though it was not what he expected. I am lucky to have shared so much of my life with Gil, and I'm really proud to carry forward his legacy at Bank Neary. But of course, his energy, his drive, his kindness, his wit, his shrewd business sense, his generosity, his outrageous humor, and immense popularity can never be duplicated. So I wanted to really just thank everyone for coming and everyone who has reached out over the past year or so since his death. To express their condolences. We really appreciate it, and I want to thank everyone at the company, all the people that work at Bank Neary, especially Alex Casala, who produced this event, and really it wouldn't have been possible without his work. All right, what are we celebrating today? Yes, Gil's accomplishments, his business success, his devotion to the community, his irrepressible alter ego, the hilarious advice columnist Bambi Sue. But most of all, I want to celebrate the things that Gil loved. Gil loved real estate. He loved his family and his friends. He loved theater, and he loved Fire Island. Gil began his real estate career as a very young man. He studied interior design and psychology, which he thought was perfect for real estate. And he worked for big companies like Bellmark Metropolitan Living, Rock Rose Development, and then co-founded what was called then Coleman Neary Realty, because he had an independent spirit and wanted to really do his own thing. And Hayden Coleman is here today. Thank you so much for coming. And that was founded in 1988, which was quite a long time ago. Under Gil's leadership, the firm has remained independent and is still independent, one of the few, and has over the years sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of property. It's an amazing achievement. We have, of course, a deep specialization in Chelsea, his home neighborhood, but now we have business all over the city and are still thriving. So I really owe him that, because he really created something that I can continue. Gil's family and friends were really important to him. He filled his days with people. With holidays, dinners, bike rides, weekend trips, casual visits, unforgettable events. Once you were Gil's friend, you were a friend for life. He kept in touch with schoolmates, with neighbors, colleagues, clients, everyone. I literally had a phone call from someone who was in 3rd grade with Gil that he was still friends with, even though they hadn't seen each other in many years. Incredible ability to keep in touch with people, to stay in touch with people, to love so many people. He always had time to make you laugh, tell you a wild story, lift you up, celebrate your success, or offer comfort when things were hard. His love for theater was perhaps overwhelming sometimes. He saw literally everything, the brilliant and the terrible. He used to brag about, I don't know if this is, okay, it's working again. He used to brag about having seen the infamous flop Moose Murders. And if you're a theater person, you know, whatever, 12 people actually saw that. But Gil was one of them. Show tunes were the soundtrack wherever he went. He had them on at home, at work. He went to sing-alongs. He went to shows all the time. He talked about shows all the time. And that passion led him to become a theatrical investor because he wanted to support the creation of the art that he so deeply loved. And then there is Fire Island. What can I say? Gil didn't just escape to the Pines, he lived the Pines. It was his sanctuary, his playground, like his forever home, if you think about where, you might live. We spent so many peaceful mornings there having breakfast overlooking the bay when everyone else was sleeping. But he never rested for long. He was everywhere. Birthday parties, pool parties, costume parties, the Pines Party, the Invasion, dinner parties, cocktail parties, art shows, fashion shows, performances, you name it, Gil was there. He said yes to everything, and he loved being everywhere. How remarkable to have lived a life filled with so much joy. Gil radiated joy. And all of us here today have been touched by that joy and carry it with us forever. Do something for me. Before you leave today, tell your most hilarious, most touching, most outrageous Gil story. He would really have loved that. We're going to continue now with Erik Bottcher, City Councilman, who's going to come and speak about Gil.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Hello, everyone. My name is Erik Bottcher. I think I just did something wrong with this. Okay. Hi, everyone. Erik Bottcher is City Council member representing the neighborhoods of the West Village, Chelsea, and Hell's Kitchen. Happy Pride. And I'm so honored to be here today to speak about Gil, both in a professional and a personal capacity. In a professional capacity, let's face it, he was the mayor of Chelsea, am I right? The mayor of gay Chelsea. He has been an integral part of our Chelsea community for many, many, many years. And Gil was always reaching out in ways large and small about ways to improve the community. He was not shy about texting his city council member with ideas for ways to improve the community because he loved Chelsea dearly. And his LGBTQ advocacy, which we're also familiar with. I am so aware of the fact that I would not be here today. I certainly would not be here as an openly gay New York City Council member if it wasn't for Gil Neary and people like him who fought to make sure that I could be here today. I heard about Gil before I met Gil. I was 21 years old, and I was invited out to the Pines. The year was 2001. And I met him in his larger-than-life persona, and I got to know him over the years. Also, when I was an assistant at Corcoran for years, so I even got to go on showings with him in that capacity. But unfortunately for me, it was only in the last year or so when I started getting close to Gil. And that's always such a sad thing, isn't it? When you get close to someone towards the end of their life. And to me, what he did for me was he always challenged me to think more about myself, to believe in myself more than I already did. And he stretched the possibilities of what was possible for me. And he would sit me down and he would say, you got to think bigger about yourself. You have to think bigger about your career. And he really helped me think about the possibilities ahead. And we all have people like that in our lives, right? And Gil was like that for so many of you as well. He also wasn't shy about his constructive criticism he gave it to you straight. It's one of the only things he did straight. But it was all for love. And I know that look at everyone here. This is such a testament to what he meant in everyone's lives. He even got Robin Bird to come back from the island in the summer. That's big. Never happened. First time. So Gil, thank you for everything you've done for me personally. Thank you for everything you've done for our community, and thank you for everything you've done for the city you love, the city of New York. Oh, I have a citation from the City Council. On behalf of the New York City Council, the City Council is recognizing today the outstanding contributions that Gil Neary has made to our city. And I'm not going to read it, but it says that in Gil Neary, we had an outstanding individual, one who is worthy of the esteem of both our community and the great city of New York. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eric. It's always great to see you. Now, Gil was always very close with his brother Matt, and some of you know him and some of you may not, but he is a wonderful, wonderful man, and I'm so glad that I've gotten to know him over the years as well. And I invite Matt to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Matthew. Too bad Gil's not here. He would have loved this. I just want to thank everybody for coming. I've already been introduced. I'm Gil's older brother. Our dad once introduced us as the smart one and the rich one. Gil protested it. He said, I don't like him calling me that. And I said, you heard it wrong. Dad said, these are my two boys, the smart one and the rich one, and the other one who's a dentist. The title of my talk is Gil's Life. I hope you guys all went to the men's room because it's going to be a long story. I can't encapsulate his multifaceted existence into a few short minutes, but I'll try to hit the high points and describe the essence of Gil. He lived a shameless, joyful life and generously shared his joy with all those people around him. Ed Koch once had a heart attack scare, was raced to Columbia Presbyterian, and it wasn't a heart attack. And his quote on leaving the hospital was, I don't get heart attacks, I give heart attacks. Gil got joy and gave joy. I used to describe him affectionately as pathologically gregarious, which is a term of endearment. He was a loving and tolerant co-parent and confidant to our 6 children, and he always brought a handful of engaging and colorful friends to our Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners. To the kids' endless entertainment. They learned that there were male strippers at one of them, actually. That's all right, they were almost 14 by then. Gil was a quintessential real estate entrepreneur. He visited properties that he never planned to sell just to see how they were decorated. Whether tooling around Manhattan on his bike, his preferred mode of travel, or his Rolls Royce, jetting to properties in Wilton Manors or Miami Beach, or ferrying to a substantial summer colony he developed on Fire Island, Gil never stopped to catch his breath. He was a whirlwind of movement and constantly flowing ideas and observations. Our mother used to complain that she never knew when Gil was working and when he was playing. His workplaces and his playgrounds were the same places. This seamless integration of his 2 worlds enabled Gil to create communities of friends and like-minded people in the vicinity of his own homes. Very clever. As evidenced by the number of childhood and lifelong friends living in Chelsea Gardens, summering in the Pines. He wanted his friends nearby, so he found them great housing in his own neighborhoods. Gil loved apartments. He didn't regard the properties he rented or sold as products or housing units. They were extensions of his clients' individual personalities. He saw himself not as a salesperson, but rather a housing consultant, helping his clients find the perfect place. As executor of his estate, I visited the apartments and met the tenants, who regaled me with stories about how Gil found them the perfect home, the best building, the best neighborhood, found them what they wanted for them. How he listened and made sure they were in exactly the right place and that it made them happy. It was heartwarming to hear of their affection for him, not an emotion that most people have toward their landlords. He set a high bar for me to follow in his footsteps. Our last big adventure together was about 2 weeks before he died. We did a road trip to our cottage in Canada. It was the lake house of a local publisher, and we bought it fully decorated, an older but tasteful Canadian cottage chic. Gil burst through the door after a 12-hour drive, looked around for a few seconds, and exclaimed, "This is great, I can work with this." He then set about to disassemble the entire decor of the house. He stayed up all night while we were asleep, moving and discarding furniture, taping paint chips to the walls, sketching an outdoor lighting plan. We got the works. We had planned to show him the great attractions in Canada, whale watching, historic sites, hiking trails, salmon fishing. He would have none of it. We visited every antique store in the province. He dragged me along, kicking and whining. If I didn't like a piece of furniture, say, maybe that's not great for our place, Gil would say, I'm going to buy it for myself, and then you can ship it to me. He would pay for it, and he would say, and before you ship it, store it in your bedroom where I think the dresser should be. He picked colors. He moved the chandelier. I was ready to kill him for that because it took the electrician days. But the result was spectacular. And I have a living memorial in Canada that I can always refer back to. Gil taught us about joy. He taught us about tolerance. He helped my kids to understand a world they never would have been familiar with. He was a great friend. I was the big brother, but he was the mentor. I'm so sorry he didn't have more time, but boy, he packed a lot of life into the time he had. And I'm proud of him for that. Thank you so much.
Wow, thanks. It's nice to see some of the kids are here as well. Okay. And now I give the podium over to someone who's been in Gil's life for many years, who is no stranger to public speaking. His just incredible boyfriend, partner, whatever you want to call yourself, Scott Reidel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to first, before I say a few words, say a big thank you to Erik. Erik, thank you. It really means a lot. Erik shared something with me 10 minutes ago. We followed Erik's career carefully from day one. And what did I tell you, Erik? I said, Gil always used to say, he's going to be the next mayor. And Erik, wait a minute. And Erik, what did you say to me? That he always said the same thing to you. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew, for arranging this. Alex, where are you? Thank you, Alex. This has really been very, very nice. Another big thank you is to Matt and Ann, and the kids. They're my family. We were together 35 years. It's a long time. Erik asked me, he said, what's the secret? I said, I don't know. We just got along. We also were both very independent. We weren't attached at the hip or anything like that. I had my life and he had his life. I warned Matthew when he brought this podium out here, he better be careful because I used to be a preacher in Tennessee. And I think that's part of the reason Gil liked me. Because I was theatrical. And guess what, folks? So are you. And that's what he liked very much about you. I can remember calling him during the day, saying, hey, buddy, how's your day going? He goes, Scooter, I can't talk to you, from his bike. I go, why not? He goes, I'm late for an appointment with Dr. Matinee. Dr. Matinee? We had a lot of adventures, from West Virginia to whitewater rafting with Ann and Matt, from West Virginia to Tennessee, to Paris, to London, and to Ireland. So we had a life journey together. I loved him terribly, and my goodness, he loved me. I wish to all of you to find that kind of love, because it's rare, and it's something that you got to work on sometimes, but it's worth every minute of the work. Thank you all very much. I love you, Gil.
Thank you, Scott. And we're almost at the end. Now it's my great pleasure to invite Jack Aaronson up to play the piano and sing a song in honor of Gil. And again, I want to thank everyone for coming, and please stay after the program. We have snacks, we have wine and water, and we want everyone to enjoy themselves, as I am sure Gil would want. Jack, thank you.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow, if we let them, and if we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know that blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because we knew you, because we knew you, we have been changed for good.
All right, thank you, everyone. Stay and enjoy each other.